Hi favorite yogis, I hope you are well today. Today's practice is going to be a lot of fun, opening up the heart, hopefully again a short and sweet practice to work the whole body. It is all about heart opening. If you have a block or something similar available for you, please have it with you in this practice. A towel can be helpful for the end if you don't have a block. And I hope you enjoy this practice. It's an intermediate practice with a little bit of strength, with a little bit of stability, and lots of breath and heart opening. So enjoy this practice, and I see you on the mat. Let's get started. Today we're going to start off in a standing position. I want you to really connect with what we call the transverse abdominis. It's a muscle that wraps around from the sides towards the front and connects to your center line of the body. It is not the rectus abdominis, it is the transverse abdominis, so coming transversely and coming in towards your center. So what this means for you and how it feels, let me explain. Let's work up from the feet. The heels press in towards the ground, the inner arches of the feet lift, and the toes gently press in towards the earth. Tuck your tailbone under slightly so that under and more so actually down so that you can feel the front body lengthening out. And this is where your transverse abdominis should start to switch on as well. Your thighs are engaged, your transverse abdominis is engaged. And as you roll the shoulders up, back and down, I want you to be mindful of pulling your front bottom rib in so you feel like really strong and stable all around the middle section of your back and belly. This is very essential for a lot of the practice as we move into standing back bends today. And I really want you to be focusing on it a lot. So when I say hug your belly button in, this is all what you would like to feel. So starting off here, can we rise our hands up? Maybe feel how much more we need to pull our bottom rib in and engage the transverse abdominis in order to maintain the length, particularly through the back. And then release the hands back down. All right, moving on from here, can you press in towards your feet, find your core engaging, and maybe bring your gaze up. And then release the hands by the side. Let's do it again, finding some space, slowly warming up. Press your heels down, press your tailbone towards the heels, and release down on your exhale. Let's move on from here. I'm going to show you sideways so you can see a little bit more how the back bend occurs. We're going to rise up our hands, and on the exhale, we're going to pull the elbows back. The back bend happens in the upper back, not in the lower back as my bottom rib pulls in. Let's do it again, reaching up, maybe the gaze goes up. On the exhale, can you look forward, maybe upwards as you pull the elbows back. Let's do it one more time. The bottom rib continues to pull in. This will be the last one. Pulling back and opening up through the chest. And then breathe in here. Release the hands behind the back. Maybe bring the other thumb on top just for something different, and then extend your arms out. So first you might pull your elbows back, and then if it works for you, extend the arms out. Again, this is where a lot of people lose their transverse abdominis engagement. I want you to pull your bottom rib in, bend your knees a lot, so that you can rest your torso on towards your thighs and drop the head down. Just take a few moments here while you work the fist up. And the head low, you might press the heels a bit more in towards the earth and become lighter through the toes. Can you lift the inner arch just to send your tailbone high and create that space throughout the hip joint, the lower back, the sacral area. 2 more breaths in. One more, and then release your hands down towards the ground. Let's be mindful here to lengthen our spine, so really check that your spine is long, your knees stay right beside each other as you reach your right hand up. You can press in towards a block here on the left hand side if you like, or just press your fingertips towards the earth, maybe the full hand depending on your flexibility. And then check your knees. Are they still in alignment? As you reach your right hand high, as you reach your gaze up high, take another breath here. And then release the hand down. Obviously, other side, we've got a good go. Check your knees. The spine stays long. Hold and breathe for 3, 2. Press into the bottom hand to reach up higher. And then come on back down. From here, lift and lengthen once again. Exhale, fall forward. Maybe you can send your tailbone a little bit high as you drop the shoulders down. Check the neck. Even bring the hands towards the opposite elbow if it works for you. And sway from side to side. It's just a really nice way to start opening up through the back body, letting any tension wash away. Let's lift up halfway to lengthen the spine, long and strong. Exhale, fold again with core strength, hugging the belly button in, bend the knees, rise up all the way towards the top until the palms touch. And on the exhale, pull the elbows behind, be mindful of your transverse abdominis. Inhale, rise up, 3 more. Exhale, pull back, opening up, it feels so good. Inhale. And your breath can be expansive and loud if you want. Inhale. Opening up the heart space. And then rise up. Clasp the hands at the small of the back. Be mindful of pulling your front bottom rib in and drop down as you bend the knees. Place both hands down towards the ground. Inhale, step your right foot back in towards the lunge. And as you come up into towards your high lunge, I want you to find stability first, pressing your back heel off the ground. The back heel presses away. Your front knee is bent, and ideally you feel a little bit of a stretch here through your hip flexors and quads. Drop the shoulder blades away from your ears. As you reach your fingertips high, now you pull your elbows back and feel how the shoulders drop back as well. Again, the bottom rib pulls in. Inhale, gaze up or forward. And pull back. One more. Inhale. Feel the length of the whole right side. And pull back. Now reach your arms up. Place them out towards the side on the exhale. Your thumbs are facing upwards. The shoulders drop away. Let's scoop in some energy as we lean forward. Pull your left hip back. And then give yourself a hug. Inhale. Open wide. Woo. Exhale. Bring the other elbow on top. Inhale, rising and opening. Exhale, big hugs. One more time. Alternate the elbows on top. And then rise both hands up. Place the back heel down towards the ground and come into your warrior 2. Reset, straightening the front leg and then resetting and bending back down. So your back heel is on the earth. And your front heel presses down. Your heart is over your hips, you're centered. And let's now take it into some movement. So we're going to straighten the front leg as we rise our hands up towards the center. On the exhale, bend the front knee as if it's on train tracks. Straight back down. Sink a little bit lower this time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, focus. Maybe the gaze comes up. How far can you reach? And then you sit down with focus, with strength. Last one, inhale. Exhale. All right, easy option. Left elbow towards the left knee. Harder option towards the block or down towards the ground on the inside of the left knee. Can you keep charging through the back leg as you drop lower and towards your front hip? And then work the shoulder blades behind your heart. Still, we're opening up the heart here. Okay, great. Let's see, the right hand reaches behind you down and then up on the other side. So creating 3 big circles here. Maybe your gaze follows your hand, so you're opening up the chest a bit more and bringing that movement in towards the whole upper body. And then let's reverse the cycle. So coming from the back, up and over. One more. Good. All right, and then from here, we're going to come one more time from the back towards the front, and maybe we can start to lengthen the front leg into Trikonasana. So as you externally rotate your front knee, make sure it's still in alignment with your second and third toe. You might charge more through the back leg and find more length through the spine. So you really want to work your bottom side of the torso long. Because this is a short practice, let's go straight away there. If you have the strength, reach your left hand forward. Keep the chest opening, maybe the gaze towards the top hand. 3 more breaths. 2. And 1. Listen, one hand down, one hand up. Place both hands down towards the ground and pivot your back foot. This pivoting the back foot is essential for the hips to be safe. Then from here, can you keep your right hand on a block or towards the earth and reach your left hand up? Try not to sag your right hip too low like I automatically do. And then let's release the hand back and down 3 times, big circles here. And then reverse the opposite side. 3 circles the other side. And just really moving towards your back, up the heart and your breath. And then place both hands down towards the ground. Step back into a downward facing dog. The first one for today. Now come forward into a high plank. You lower down with knees, chest and chin maybe. Then lengthen out, pressing the pubic bone towards the ground, squeezing the glutes, lifting the chest. And then on the exhale, push back downward facing dog. I can see you can't see. I might have to adjust the camera. And then from downward facing dog, can you come forward into a high plank, strong through the core. Roll the left shoulder under as you place both feet to the left side. So the outside edge of the left foot to reach the right hand high. Into your side plank, pressing strongly through the left heel. Taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's listen. Reach your hands up and over. So your right hand up and over. And then pull the elbow back. Inhale, can you reach it up and over? Pull the elbow back. It's like we're doing a big swim here in our living room. And pulling back. Beautiful, reaching up with a smile. Place both hands down towards the ground. And lower down into your half or full chaturanga. Your choice, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And then rolling over the toes into downward facing dog. Enjoy the stretch as you press your whole hand in towards the ground, both of them. Roll the shoulder blades away from the ears and hug your heart in to send back towards the tailbone to lengthen the spine. 3 breaths. 2. And 1. Let's twist it up a little bit. The left hand comes over towards your right leg. And you come into your twisted downward facing dog. Just a really nice way to opening up through that left shoulder blade. You can bend the left elbow back. And then release it, that one down, and we're going to swap over towards the other side. So right hand towards your left calf or leg or wherever you can hold, and then bending the right elbow to pull back to create more space to the shoulder blade. And then from here, downward facing dog, your choice of stepping, walking, hopping towards the front of the mat, and lift and lengthen through the chest. Exhale, fold. Now come on up again with more strength in the core. Feel the longest spine. Reach both hands forward if this is right for you. So you're super long here. And then pull the elbows back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull them back. The neck is in alignment with the rest of the spine. Don't let it sag down or pull up. One last one. Pulling back. Beautiful. Feel the strength through the core, through the back. And fold. Pressing towards your feet, rise up to standing all the way towards the top. Listen, engage your core more on the exhale. Pull back. Inhale. Feel the length. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up high. You've got this. Clasp the hands at the small of the back. Lift and lengthen through the chest. Bend the knees to fold forward. Lift your fist up high. Let your head drop low. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Release the hands down. Lift and lengthen through the chest. Reach your left hand up first. Keep the knees even. And then on the exhale, release it down. Other side, keeping the knees even, reach the right hand up. And release it down. Now can you step your left foot far back in towards a lunge. Rise up with strength in towards your beautiful high lunge. Pressing the back heel away, now you can see. And have your heart right over your hips as your tailbone shoots down towards the earth. Inhale here, on the exhale, pull the elbows back. Remember that your bottom rib still wants to pull in, even though it wants to pull outwards. So you're kind of working against opposite forces as you breathe and your gaze stays forward or looks up. Don't look down here, yeah, under the pressure. Okay, well done. Now reaching the arms out towards the side on your inhale. On the exhale, give yourself that big hug and rise up with your strength and into your breath. And hug it all in. Or out, you know. Feel that emptiness and that comfort in the emptiness. One more time, bring the other elbow on top. And then rise the hands up high. As you press the back heel down towards the ground, open up to Warrior Two. You might reset your front foot, your back foot, yeah? It's a different stance for many of us. Reset and straighten, and then focus back towards your Warrior Two as your heart over your hips, as your front knee in alignment with the second and third toe. If you look straight down, you should see your big toe. All right, let's straighten as we lengthen the front leg. And focusing, coming lower on the exhale. Feel your strength, feel your power, feel the control that you have here as you use your breath to move deeper and towards the poses. Last one. And here are the different options. Right elbow to right knee, right hand towards the block, or down to the instep side of the foot. Ideally, you're going wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist, in one line. You might sink low in towards the front knee, charging more through the back leg so you've got that stability. And then if you want, you're gonna reach from the back, up and forward, or down and forward, sorry. So we're gonna create some 3 big circles here, and just move in towards the back body. That's it, and then let's do it the other way. 3 big circles. And then we're going to reverse it one more time, but this time we're going to lengthen the front body, moving into Trikonasana. So you can see how I'm a little bit bent. I want to correct that by lengthening my chest forward and rolling the shoulder blades further back. Yeah, maintaining that length, particularly pressing through the back heel. You can fire it up a little bit by reaching your hand up high. Keep your heart open, your chest open, your gaze up for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Releasing one hand up, one hand down. Place both hands to either side of the front foot and pivot your back foot. It is quite important to keep your hips nice and safe here. Keep charging through the back leg as you pull the right hip back and reach the left hand up. And then again here, once you've set in your pose here, you release the hand back and down for 3 circles. Just bringing that movement and breath in and that combination of it, and then reverse the circle the other way. Doesn't it feel great? And then place both hands down towards the ground. Step back into your downward facing dog. High plank as you inhale. Your choice, bringing the knees down towards the ground, into knees, chest, chin, half chaturanga. Your choice, upward facing dog, baby cobra. You choose it. It's your practice, your life. Downward facing dog. Alright, moving on, forward into a high plank. Now you're coming onto the right hand and the outside of the right foot. Make sure that your hand is right underneath the shoulders. You stay long, pressing through the back heel and having a smile in this plank pose. Alright, let's reach the left hand up and over. Nice and long for the left side. And then on the exhale, pull the elbow back. Inhale, reach it up and over. Pull it back. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach it up and over, high plank. Your choice, do you want another chaturanga or meet us in downward facing dog? 3 breaths. Short and sweet practice. Enjoy the heat, the breath, the space that we're creating here. And then slowly bend the knees, jump, step, walk towards the front of the mat, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees as you need. Then come up halfway, stay here, engage your core more, and reach both hands forward. On the exhale, can you pull the elbows back? Inhale, lengthen. The gaze is down and the back of the neck is ideally long. I can't see myself, but I hope that's how it looks. One more time. And then reaching forward, hugging the belly button in, fold. Press in towards the feet, rise up to standing all the way towards the top. And then release your hands by the side. Bring your hands up towards heart center. Connect towards your stance. Connect towards your heart. Connect towards your breath. Bringing that space into from the back of the heart. Anything that comes up for you, ideas, vision, thoughts, allow it to come. Send it on its way again. Now let's rise the hands up high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Lift and lengthen through the chest. Your choice, do you want to jump back into chaturanga or move through downward facing dog? Upward facing and downward facing. Take 3 breaths here. 2 and 1. And then bring your knees down towards the ground. Have your hips right over the knees and walk your hands forward into puppy pose. I want you to feel puppy pose here with your belly hugging in, your bottom rib hugging in, and then pressing your hands in towards the ground to send a tailbone away from there. And breathe for 3. Opening up for the chest, the shoulders. Last breath. Slowly walk your hands back in. And I want you to find that same length through the spine into your downward facing dog for now. So what was it? Opening up the chest and the shoulders, pressing the hands away from the tailbone, and then hugging the belly button in, hugging the bottom rib in to find that length. For 3 more breaths. 2 and 1. And then come forward into your high plank. Bring your knees down towards the ground. Walk your knees wide to sit back into a wide-legged child's pose. So here you're dropping your heart down, you allow your shoulders to widen. I like to move my head from side to side to get another nice neck stretch. Might be too much for some, not for most, for some. So see what you need. See what you need, how you sway, how your energies go. Gonna move on from here into low bow. So low bow is almost better than high bow for most of us if you're not flexible enough. If you can reach for your toes, great, go ahead and do that. And when you do that, I want you to press your hips down towards the earth once again, so you feel both hips left and right on the ground. Shoot your tailbone towards your knees, so you continue lengthen here, and then you might kick in towards your hands just a little bit, so you feel your shoulders are being pulled back and your neck being lengthened. If you want a little bit more, you might lift your thighs off the ground, not your chest, not your head, and just keep kicking for 3, 2, feel it in your thighs. You should feel it in your thighs, not your lower back, maybe in your shoulders. Last breath. And then slowly release your hands, your feet down, and take a rest. here, a little bit more strength for today. So what we're going to do is Shavasana. So you're going to squeeze your buttocks towards the center line, pressing the tailbone down. Hug the belly button in and reach your hands forward. We've done this standing, right? So now as you reach your hands forward, pull the elbows back. Maybe the chest lifts as your spine bends. So as you keep moving forwards, on the exhale you're pulling back. You are inhale brings the arms forward and the back of the neck stays long. So we're going to do 10, 9, and if you feel too much tension in the neck, just relax the jaw a bit. Yeah. Are we at 7? Keep squeezing the tailbone down. Keep pressing the pubic bone down. Hug the belly button in as you come on up. Is it 4? 3, you've got this. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Take a rest. How good does it feel when your back muscle starts to move? Wiggle, wiggle. Really great. Okay, so from here, let's bring the palms down by the side, and then from here, turn the toes up. So your shoulder blades roll outwards and your chest is slightly lifted. You might bring your big toes together here. If it works for you, can you lift your thighs off the ground as well? It's only a little bit of movement for me, yeah? The back of the neck stays long, and then can you tap your toes towards your hands? Yeah, the thighs stay off the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and slowly release down. Another short break. Maybe bring your right ear towards the earth, and then swap over. Bring the left ear towards the earth. Just feel the difference between left and right, and let your body come a bit more to rest. And place the hands underneath the shoulders. We kind of come up and just give our feet a little bit of a stretch. So how do we do that? We're going to work all 10 toes towards the front. Big toes are touching, ankles are touching, and then sit on our heels. For some, this might be a little bit painful around the toes. So maybe a bit challenging around the ankles. That means we need a little bit more flexibility in there. Obviously, if you have injuries, it is potentially not available for you. For everyone else, generally the toes do not fall off, even if it feels like that. Let's pass the hands behind the back and lengthen our arms backwards. So for some of you, it might be just elbows back. I'm hyperextendable, so I can pull my arms nice and far back here. Again, keeping the length in the spine. 3 more breaths. Keep your heart in alignment with your head and with your hips. Lean back a little bit. Oh yeah. And then release the hands, place them down. Release your feet. Oh yeah, and tap them down. Okay. On towards our back. We're almost at the end of the practice. Just a little bit more. If it feels easy to you, let's bring our hands behind the sacral bone and just wiggle our shoulders into an easy bridge. I know some of you love the wheel as much as I do. So you want to bring your hands by your ears. So keep sending your tailbone towards the knees. Remember, you do want to maintain that length through the lower back and work more through the opening through the chest. Then come into your wheel and hold wherever you are, either in bridge or in wheel, for 5 breaths. Just one today, just a little bit of nice opening through the chest and the belly. Let's do 2 more breaths here. 1 deep breath, and slowly come on back down. If you haven't done this before, we're going to move now into banana pose. So bring your buttocks off center towards the left, and then guide both legs over towards the right, as much as it works for you. Your left hip wants to stay on the ground, while you reach both hands up and overhead, you might grab one hand with one wrist, see which one is right. I'm holding my my left wrist with my right hand. And then I feel a really big stretch all along the side. This only happens if your left hip is down, yeah? And you might increase the stretch by bringing one leg on top of the other and just sinking the left hip down and breathing here. Finding length in the stretch with the breath by pulling yourself up. To be honest with you, it's one of my most challenging poses, yeah? So I really feel challenged in this pose. There's so much stretch for me. So I do know that this one is probably good for me. It's creating space in areas where I'm not holding much space. I hope you benefit from it as well. And then slowly releasing the hands back, uncrossing the leg. I don't know if you have an easier time than me coming out of it. I just have to slowly move over towards the opposite side. So moving the buttocks towards the right, extending the legs over towards the left as much as they go. Reaching the hands over towards the left as much as they go and dropping the right hip back down towards the ground. And then crossing one leg on top of the other. Check which one is right for you. And stay here in your banana pose. So hopefully you bend here and your right hip presses down towards the earth. And if it doesn't press, let it fall in towards the earth. And give it about 8 breaths here. Slowly let that one go. Coming back towards the center. And we're going to do a couple more stretches just to even it all out. So hug your left knee in towards the chest now. Extend your right heel out. Let's curl up on the exhale to bring your knee and nose together. Press the right heel away. And then the inhale, lengthen back down. Let's do it again. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, and then release that foot down, hug your other knee in towards the chest. We're going to curl as we press the left heel away. And exhale, come on up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come on up. That's it. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice massage to the middle, lower back. So the further you send your knees away, the lower you're going to come, and the further you hug them in, the closer you get. And then I was talking about a block, a book, a towel that you might have. So there's different options here for us. I've got a block, I'm prepared. If you have a towel, roll it up really tightly in like a sausage, a bigger sausage, a smaller sausage as you like, and place it underneath your heart. And I don't want to be too specific today because I think you will know exactly when it feels right for you. But I do want to emphasize that you do not bring the block too low on your spine. So I'm going to place the block at the bottom rib, about maybe 1 rib up, and let my head go behind it. If this is too much on your neck, you can bring a pillow or another block underneath your head. If you can extend the legs, extend the leg, creating space to the lower back. If you need to bend the knees, that's fine as well. And what I really would like for you to focus on is that your shoulders have the opportunity to come lower than your heart and your palms are facing up. Just going going to take a few moments here and seeing how this potentially comfortable or uncomfortable disruption behind our heart here unfolds later on. Yeah, sometimes our heart gets challenged, our mind gets challenged. Is that for growth? Is that for learning? Is that for, just to open up to new areas of love and open-heartedness and understanding and compassion? Because I feel often when we get hurt and often when we experience challenges in our heart, it makes us a lot more compassionate to those that are experiencing similar challenges. So that is nice. It's a nice way of connecting as long as you don't close up your heart fully. But you be present with what you're experiencing, the challenge, and how you can use it in a way to create more space and freedom for yourself. I know many of my clients love this pose so much. So you can stay here much longer before you go into Shavasana. Or take the block away and take a few moments, 8 to 10 breaths minimum, to feel the back of the heart opening, widening. Maybe you can feel your breath coming more in towards the front of the heart as your shoulders are looser and wider. Just really enjoy that space that you've created for yourself over the few minutes of stretching and moving and breathing. And embrace the challenges that you may encounter or have encountered with a little bit more ease, acceptance and compassion. Can you breathe deeply in towards your belly and then in towards your heart, and then breathe out from both. Let's do this 3 more times. Breathe so deep in your belly. Breathe more in towards your heart, and then out from both. Last big one. Breathe in towards your belly. Breathe in towards your heart, and let it go. Connect to all sensations. Maybe first externally, sounds, feeling the sensations of your body on the ground. Maybe you feel some tingling in your limbs. Maybe you feel some tingling along the spine. Maybe you acknowledge how your breath gently comes in and out. Maybe you notice your thoughts as they want to come in and fall out. Maybe you become aware of really subtle energies inside yourself. Stay with this for a little bit longer. I'm going to say goodbye to you now. Namaste.